You're listening to Radio Cosmos.
All night long.
Bravo! My compliments, little lady.
Commercial!
Break for 30 seconds.
You are now listening to BaaD Radio.
Hello and welcome to BaaD Radio. BaaD stands for Business at a Distance. This is a show about local businesses and business networking, and we are so glad that you are here. We are a live show, and so you can listen to us online at 105 FM, 660 AM. You can also listen to us online at floridamanradio.com or download the Florida Man Radio app. You can even catch us on the iHeartRadio app. I'm your host, Angela Smarito, and in studio with me, we have DJ Heather, the producer.
Good morning, or good afternoon.
It's still morning, because now new time.
We're an hour early today.
So we actually can say good morning.
This is great.
Melissa Jacob, our videographer, is back in the house today. How are you?
Hello, doing good. Glad to be back here.
Yes, we're very happy to have you back as well. Striking Brand has been producing our weekly YouTube videos for I think you said 13 weeks now, 14. And you can see all of her other beautiful photos on strikingbrand.com, but you can also catch previous episodes of BaaD Radio on baadradio.com. So like I said, if you've missed something and you want to catch up with it, just go to baadradio.com and you'll be able to find it there. The video portion of BaaD Radio wouldn't be possible without our sponsor, which is Dr. James Bull with Lake Mary Chiropractor. I have not gotten an update of his new practice yet, so I'll keep you guys posted as I hear the information. But as of right now, you can still catch Dr. Bowles at Lake Mary Chiropractic. And to my left is my bestie and overall badass, Emily Murphy, hormone and weight loss and life coach.
Hey.
Hey, girl, welcome in. And then we also have two new boss babes. I love boss babes. To BaaD Radio. So please join me in welcoming Master Roberts with Master Roberts World Class Taekwondo.
Hello, good morning.
And I wrote Taekwondo not how it's really spelt, but the way that when I look at it, it makes sense in my head.
And what does that spelling look like, Angela? Entertain us all here.
Tykwando.
Close enough.
And I'm very excited to have Renee Simpson, owner and operator of Limo Ventures.
Hello.
Her and I have been following each other for a while on Facebook, and your adventures look wonderful. They look so fun.
I'm like a rolling stone. I don't stay still too much.
You can call or text us at any time. The number here is 321-339-1055. And this portion of BaaD Radio is brought to you by Premier Couples Superstore. Cut out the middleman and go straight to the source. Premier Couples Superstore has everything from sexy bedroom outfits, toys, games, love oils, and everything in between. Premier Couples Superstore, because couples that play together stay together. Renee's over there giggling.
I just did a little thumbs up and wink live.
And Liberty
Extra
Property Inspections. They specialize in home and commercial building inspections, environmental inspections, roof certifications, and pool inspections. You can save money with a wind mitigation like I did, and you can reach them at 407-739-5795 or visit them at libertypropertyinspections.net. Also, a huge thank you to Artistic Beauty, Kazoo Creative, and Angela Keen's Hair and Makeup. Before I jump into everything, too, I just really wanted to acknowledge that today is September 11th, and I really wanted to pay a tribute to everybody that lost their lives from, our first responders and so on, and I think that September 11th is a day that, depending on your age, means something different to everybody. The thing that I really think about, too, is that I know that these horrible people wanted to try to rip us apart. But after that happened, all I could think about is how it brought us together. So egg on their face, and they can suck it. But, yeah, it was a day that and the time after that is that you saw nothing but flags. And you know, unity. I will always...
Unity and...
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, like I said, they failed. And so, like I said, that's that. So, all right. So, on to the next. One of the challenging but also fun things about managing a radio show is making sure you work in keep the audience engaged to help bring new followers as much as possible. And then do it within a specific time frame, because you guys, you'll see that this goes really fast. So, we're going to do little things different. So, right now, what we're going to do is we're going to do the BaaD Business Fit, or BaaD Business Tip feature. And then we're going to dive into Emily's health feature. So, last week's business tip was submitted by Jonathan Jug with Royal Fund Management. Jonathan submitted, don't think about your competitors. Always think about your clients, consumers and what they need and want. And so if you remember that, Emily, we kind of both agreed and disagreed. And that what was kind of cool is that you don't want to live your life by what your competitors are doing, but you want to pay attention. Yeah. So this week, our bad business tip was submitted by Jennifer Welch, owner of Downtown Design Orlando. Jennifer submitted, put your oxygen mask on first. Make sure you're taking care of yourself first. Then you can help your clients to the very best of your ability. And one of the reasons I brought that up is because I think it's a perfect segue into what we talk about with Emily. And Emily is an expert on hormone, body balancing, and just overall health. And I think that that is so important. And when you're taking care of yourself and your business, you can't run an efficient business if you're not running an efficient body. So thank you so much for submitting that. So you're going to be getting a BaaD Radio t-shirt, and then next week your business will get plugged on BaaD Radio too. All right, so this brings up to Emily.
Well, tell them too how they can submit, anybody else that's listening, how they can submit their tip.
Yes.
If they have tips.
I will post each week in BaaD Radio, Business at a Distance, which is on Facebook. So usually I'll tip, actually not weekly, bi-weekly. And then people will put in their tips, and then they'll go into conversations. And then I go through and I read them. And then I kind of pick out the ones that are relevant to conversations that we are having. So it's a great way to get your business name out there. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with the BaaD Radio t-shirt because they're fun.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So today I'm talking about how to start creating routines and change in your life, because it seems like really simple when we're like, we're going to do something new. And then like all the boulders start falling down the mountain at us as we're trying to climb this hill and do something different. So I came up with this idea for this talk because I got my Invisalign, right, that came in the box that I told Angela I was going to get.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Uh-huh. So it all came. It's like it's already been like 3 weeks or something since I did that. And I start thinking like, how am I going to remember to keep these things in? Like it's something you got to do, right?
Do you have them in right now?
No,
okay.
I don't. No, I haven't started yet. My husband's like, so when are you going to start this thing? And I've been looking at this box now for 3 days thinking gotcha. Oh no, this is a whole new thing I'm going to have to try to manage, right? And because of my awareness of, trying to not ever reach that zone of burnout again, even little things like this, I can kind of get triggered where I'm like, oh boy, I know I need to really set up and start this or it's going to be overwhelming for me, right? Okay. And it seems simple, but you're like, no, I can't have this thing happening and throw off my whole life. So
I get it, though. I get it.
I understand completely.
Right? It's like we can only handle so many things at once, but we think we want all of these things. Our brain says like, you want to do this and you want to grow your business and you want to be in shape and you want to go on vacation and you want to be a family person and all the things to everybody. And we can only do so many things at one time.
And still have alone time.
Right. Yeah. Imagine like having, a few minutes to yourself. So my tips for this week in starting and creating routines and change. First, I would say to do an audit of your week and time. Because a lot of times when I'm going through even my check-ins with my clients and we're trying to figure out like what have they done for exercise or meal prepping or, setting themselves up and getting ready to make these routines, they've planned the week before to exercise or to have healthy food choices at lunch or whatever. And when you look at their schedule, I go, okay, well, when were you going to do that? If it didn't happen this past week, why didn't it happen? And when were you planning on doing it? And there wasn't really a plan to do it. Right. It was just like, I'm hoping that it falls in there accidentally sometime and I come out with the result that I want. And that is just not going to happen. So you need to audit your time because there may be the reality that you didn't have time to take a 15-minute walk. Right? Or you didn't have time to go to the gym, even if it was for 20 or 30 minutes, or you didn't have time to meal prep. That could totally be a reality. And week after week, you beat yourself up and you say, I can't stay on a diet. I can't work on my health. I can't do anything right. I'm always going to be overweight. I'm always going to feel bad. You can just pour all this crap onto yourself. And the reality is, was there 15 minutes where you could sit and think about anything, right? And sometimes there's just not. So you have to take an audit and say, what could go, right? What what are the things that are just too much? What could be delegated? What could you pay somebody to do for you, right? Or just, I have women with kids that their kids are tall enough to reach the top of the washer and dryer and still aren't doing their laundry, right? And they're doing laundry for 3 or 4 people in their house. And we have to talk and say, like, how are you going to even feed yourself? Like, literally, you don't have time for lunch and you're doing 10 loads of laundry a day. Yeah. Or a week. I hope nobody's doing 10 a day. But so, you have to just start being really aware, audit your time, your whole week. Like, where do you have time? So then I want you to divide it up. My second tip today is dividing it up and making a list of things that you do for pleasure and a list of things that you do that you absolutely have to do that you don't like. Right? Or,
for example,
just
laundry.
anything, even in your business, right? Or just stuff, emails, not necessarily that you don't like, but
I know what you're saying.
Like, if sitting drinking your coffee in the morning may bring you pleasure, right? But then you have to do emails and
I meant for
stuff
me,
for your
like I said, it's like I try to make X amount of cold calls or emails a day, and lots of times I just put that off and put that off and put that off, and I do the things that I like better first.
Right. But what I want you to do in making a list is to start to understand, are there enough things that bring you pleasure and happiness throughout the day? Like, if your list of just things that you just have to do is 90% of your day, and you might get like 1 or 2 things that, like, maybe drinking coffee is the only thing that you get to do, and sitting for 5 minutes and having alone time or something that could be. And so these could be really, really small things, but if you have this just big out of balance scenario, like, what are some other little small things that you could start inserting and putting things in? Because at the end of the day, when we look at making changes to our brain, are kind of big red flags, things we don't want to do, even when the result is really positive and something we want, our brain says, no, let's not try to do that new thing because you're going to struggle with it. Just like the Invisalign thing, like, it's going to be a struggle. Like, it's going to be, they say even trying to brush your teeth with your left hand, like, try to do that for a week and see, like, the domino effect of the rest of your day, like, will just be kind of out of whack.
Wow, that's so crazy to think about. But yes, I'm totally following you on this.
Yeah. So we just have to be really aware and then start to create, like we say, create that balance where you're adding more things that you may like to do and be happy about. So you're not just always doing things that require huge amounts of self-discipline. Like, you're always saying, like, overriding that voice, like, I don't want to do this, but I know I have to. I don't want to do it, but I know I have to. Like, if that's your talk all day, life sucks, right?
Yeah.
So decide, like I said, what you can delegate or automate. So if you have things in your business that, maybe emails that can send automatically, or series and sequences of events or things that happen, triggers and things. In my business, I can set up things where I don't have to be manually giving my clients everything.
No, you were talking to me about setting up manual invoicing and billing.
Right. Last week we were talking about that, where it just makes it easier and you're not having to do calls and things that take up more time that you don't even want to do.
Yeah.
So decide if there's enough balance. The next big thing is get aware of when there is absolute chaos times in your schedule too, where things could just go totally wacky, right? So if you're saying, I'm going to go to the gym at 5 o'clock every day, or 3 times a week even, but 5 o'clock is a time where, I don't know, 'cause your kids call and things happen. Dinner needs to be made.
Yeah, kid comes home from school like with a really bad day, and he's having
And you start to see this trend. You're like, this is never going to happen for me. You need to move your stuff around and plan better. So plan what you can start doing, and without turning your life upside down. That is just the goal here, is to start making little changes.
And I think that those are wonderful ideas. And so you can go to gogetemcoach.com and you can fill out a questionnaire on Emily's website, right?
Yep.
And Emily is a wealth of information. So if you like what you hear, come find her. All right. So that music means that we are going to break. And when we get back, we're going to jump in with Master Roberts World Class Taekwondo. So stay tuned.
Welcome back to BaaD Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
And welcome back to BaaD Radio. You can call or text us at any time. at 321-339-1055. And this portion of Bad Radio is brought to you by Impact Electric of Orlando, who focuses on commercial and residential work. Zach's number is 407-747-0874. Impact Electric is still hiring, so if you're interested in starting a career in the electrical field, which the trades are booming right now, definitely give Zach a call. Also want to thank Andrews Law PA, Renee Sterling with South State Bank, our mortgage expert, and Sheepdog Promotional Products. All right, so before break, I said that we are going to be talking with Master Roberts, and I'm just very impressed with the name Master Roberts. So welcome in today.
Give her first name too. So we're
Okay,
not
go
all
ahead.
confused.
Yes, my first name is Dominica.
Dominica.
But otherwise known as Master Roberts.
Otherwise known.
So tell everybody why you get to be called Master Roberts.
Yes, so I'm Master Roberts because I'm a 4th degree Kuki 1 certified black belt in Taekwondo. And so that's where you receive the title of Master. So kind of like mastery of Taekwondo. Takes about the same amount of time as like a college degree. So
Oh,
it's very
really?
similar to that. Yes, many years of training.
Wow.
Okay, and so backtrack a little bit. Let's talk about your business, where you're at, where you're located, because then we're going to jump into all the other fun stuff.
Really cool. Yes. So we are Master Roberts World Class Taekwondo. We are out in Oviedo. We just opened up about less than a year ago now. Doing great out there in Oviedo, Florida.
And who do you cater to?
So we cater to 4 to 12 is a big age range for us right now, but teens, adults, a lot of the kids' parents are getting involved with us too.
Oh,
families, yes. So it's a big deal for really any age.
And how does it work? So if I my son's 15, but let's backtrack a little bit. Say he's like 8 years old and he sees like the other kids, and he thinks it looks cool because they got the white stuff in their belt.
Oh, yeah.
So how does somebody go about like getting involved with Taekwondo?
Yeah, so I think Taekwondo martial arts in general has gotten a different stereotype throughout the years. I think it's becoming more recognized, not just for the kicking and punching, but really for the deeper values, the character building skills. So a lot of times parents are coming to us with the notion that I want my child to be more focused, build confidence in themselves. And I hear that Taekwondo is great for that. And then, of course, the kids are excited to get out there and kick and punch, but it's just kind of that conversation gets opened up with, my child needs some structure, some focus, some confidence in themselves. And that's really where we get to use Taekwondo as the vehicle through which we teach that.
And how did you get into Taekwondo?
So my sister actually, my whole family's involved. My sister actually came home from an after-school program with a flyer. And
Is she older or younger?
She's older.
Okay.
So she was 8, I was 5. And my mom was like, all right, girls, dance or Taekwondo. You get to choose one. Not running around to different sports. For whatever reason, 2 young girls picked Taekwondo, just fell in love with it, and then just kept teaching, started to volunteer, became part-time, full-time, and now owning the school. So,
Okay, so it's structure, but it's also health.
absolutely, yes.
And,
yes.
So I guess, do a lot of people, because I know something about like not Taekwondo, but a lot of it has to do with people come in and they think they're just going to start kicking and punching right away.
Correct.
How does that really work? Do they start kicking? Or do you have to like train like the different motions? And I just really want to know a little bit more about Taekwondo as a sport. Not a sport. Is it a sport?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's in the Olympics. It's recognized in the Olympics, which is very exciting. And yeah, you get kicking and punching right away, but really it's the foundational skills to, when they come into the school, learning how to be respectful of the space, be respectful of yourself, and, the teacher, the student, being respectful to one another. So we can teach these skills, but teach them in a way that is safe. It's about the fitness, but it's also about becoming a person that really understands the Taekwondo techniques. So.
And what makes Taekwondo different than other forms of martial arts? How many are there, first of all?
Oh my goodness. Endless. I don't even know a number off the top of my head.
The big ones are like karate, Taekwondo.
Jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai. I mean, there's so many martial arts as the umbrella. But Taekwondo itself, again, it's in the Olympics, so we teach the Olympic style sport of the kicking and punching, more focused on the different kicking techniques than grappling or upper body striking that you might see. It's from Korea, so it's the Korean tradition.
So I did not know that. So Taekwondo is from Korea. Are the different martial arts from different part of?
Yeah, it could be from Japan, China, just different origins of the art.
And how is it? What are the differences between Taekwondo and karate?
Again, it could just be belt system and curriculum, but Taekwondo is more of the lower body, the kicking and striking of the lower part of the body. And then karate is going to be all upper body, a lot more usage of, hands and arms. But again, curriculum is going to be different. The ways that they're teaching are very similar though. So.
And when you talk about teaching, is it a class environment or do you do one-on-one sessions? How does the whole structure of the classes go?
Yeah, so definitely group settings. We will do one-on-ones with students that need some extra support and care because it's very important to us that everybody's moving and progressing at their own pace. But yeah, group setting for the different age ranges and belt levels, it's important to break those up because they are in different stages and they are learning things differently as well.
And how do you see it broken up between boys and girls? And I mean, like I said, do you see more boys doing it or is it something that girls take for like self-defense?
It's a mix right now. I think it's always been a mix that I have seen, whether they're coming for different things. Yes, girls might be coming for more of the self-defense aspect, the confidence building, but I definitely see boys too or parents looking for confidence in them. And of course the kicking and punching that they're excited to do and the flipping and twisting. But I would say it's about 50-50 because again, Taekwondo isn't just about the physical. I think there's so much more beyond that.
Have you ever gotten into martial arts, Emily?
Yeah, so I think I was like maybe orange or...
Is there orange? I know there's brown.
Brown
there's white
after orange in Taekwondo?
Yeah, what are the different belts?
We don't do brown and orange. Again, the colors are just different dependent upon where you're going. So that's just dependent on where
is
you
black the number one across the board?
Yeah, and then there's different degrees of black belt too. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
like 4 belts up in Taekwondo. So
awesome.
Really?
My first fitness job was at a Taekwondo facility. I was doing cardio kickboxing, and so he was like the owner, Greg Salter was his name. He was an ex-cop actually, and then opened a studio out near Mount Dora actually, or Altamont. Apopka. So I don't know. But he said, come to the class before and start working on your belt if you want. And so I did.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Like I said, I think that it sounds really fun. It does. But like fun, but you're exercising and staying in shape and, everything like that. So, so people progress up. Tell us about how that works. They start off as a beginner. Correct. And then take us through as they go through, and also curious about the time it takes for that to happen.
Yeah, so they start as a white belt, of course, and then we kind of teach the different curriculum, whether it's kicks and punches.
Is there writing and text involved, or is it just all physical?
It's all physical for the most part. When they test for the next belt, we do have them answer questions, like an application, if you will, based on the life skill or the character building skill at that level. So beginners will start with focus. Then it moves into, enthusiasm, goal setting, all of those things that we want students to empower through the action of Taekwondo that they're gaining. And so they will have to answer questions based on, hey, is this person showing, enthusiasm or not? So they're kind of learning that skill along with the blocks, strikes, the forms. After, in the beginning stages, it's 2 to 4 months with consistent training.
So they're usually on average. I know everybody's different. So a white belt, 2 to 4 months.
Correct. That's coming two to three times a week.
That was my next question. 2 to 3 times a week. And how long is each class?
Our classes are about 40 minutes for the kids. The youngest guys are at 30 minutes, just
because of their attention span.
Yes.
Right.
So.
And then for adults, so tell me about the different. So you have classes for the younger ones. Then, like you said, the 12 to 14-year-olds, and then you said you had some adult classes as well.
We do, yes.
Do you do anything online, or is it all in person?
All in person. Actually, during COVID, we did some online stuff, but it was very challenging. Taekwondo is such a physical techniques that we're doing are very physical, but not even that. It's the connection that we get to build between teacher and student, and it's very hard to do that through a screen. So
yeah, I mean, I think all of us had to do some major adjustments prior. From I know that the way I did business changed dramatically during COVID. I mean, I've got some clients that are on the air that I still have yet to meet in person.
Wow.
Because it's like they're in the field or doing this, but it did open up some opportunities for me to have meetings with people that I wasn't able to get before that. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the future of Master Robert. So we have 2 minutes left in here. So I want to see, what are some of your goals? Because I'm not gonna lie, when I first met you, I was like, okay, don't take this wrong. I'm like, she's a kid. And then the more we talked, I was like, damn, this girl's got her S together. So tell me what is in store for you.
Yeah, so I have it together for so many reasons. My family was a big support. My teacher, Grandmaster Chong, was a big help in this.
That's so fun, Grandmaster Chong. Oh my God.
He has been so
Please
instrumental.
tell me he has a white beard.
He does not. No.
Dang it! Can you do that thing with the chopsticks?
No, but he, having that as a background has led me to be where I am. So I am very young still, and I have a lot ahead. But I give a lot of gratitude to my family and to my teacher because of that. So I think continuing on, it's going to be an education piece. It's going to be educating more people, helping and serving more people, whether that's opening up a bigger facility, more facilities.
How big is your facility right now?
Actually, we're just under 3,000 square feet.
That's so good.
So it is, yes. Yeah. But I'm excited to expand.
Yeah.
And do you have kids classes going on during adult classes? Like, can people?
They're separate right now because we have one mat space.
Oh, so you have to have one class at a time?
Yes,
only?
for now.
Okay, yeah.
So hopefully in the future we can split that up into 2 mats and kind of be able to run simultaneous classes.
And tell everybody how they can get in touch with you. We're going to do this again at the end of the show, but we're about to wrap up your portion, so I really want people to know how to get in touch with you.
Yeah, taekwondoorlando.com. You get to see our website, Master Roberts World Class Taekwondo, Facebook, Instagram. You can check out what we're doing and all the amazing people that I get to work with every single day.
Well, it's been so awesome having you on here. Now, you're not going anywhere. You're going to stay in here. But we're going to go to break, and when we get back, we are going to talk to Renee Simpson with Limo Ventures, and I can't wait to hear some of her adventures, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to BaaD Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
So you can call or text in at any time to 321-339-1055. And this portion of BaaD Radio is brought to you by Ground Up Property Services. Again, we are at that time of the year where you can get a downpour and have up to 4 to 5 inches in no time. And if you do not have a sensor, then the next day your water kicks on and you've flooded your lawn and you've wasted water and electricity. So don't hesitate to call Rick Hall at 407-468-4295. Again, that's 407-468-4295, or check him out at groundupinc.net. Also wanted to thank Four Seasons AC and 33 Tanning Spa with locations in Altamont Springs and Longwood. All right, before the break, I said that we are going to be talking with Renee Simpson, and the name is Limo Venture. I always want to put an S on that, but she's like, no, girl. Nope. It's Limo Venture. So, hey, girl, how are you?
I'm fantastic. We provide adventure at Limo Venture. That's what we do.
So, I'm trying. You and I met through the Classy AF group, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
We are online buddies that decided to meet in person today. Hey, girl, hey!
And you just got back from a vacay, right? Because I remember you were saying that you're like checking out and you're like, I'm back in the real world like next week.
Well, so I was away doing some side hustle because, girl's busy. And I was on my way back and I made it fun. So I was coming from Nebraska all the way back to our beloved Orlando. And I'm very fortunate throughout my life to have met many different people. I used to travel coast to coast doing 2 really niche jobs. And I've met people because I am not shy. And I saw about 15 to 20 friends on the way back. I saw the largest metal structure in Tennessee. I went to a place in Pigeon
Forge. I see that you climbed into a fountain.
Oh, I climbed into a fountain and I threw myself down a big hill in a plastic ball in Pigeon Forge. If it's adventure, I'm all about it. Nice. I have always been an adrenaline junkie since growing up in Ohio and going to roller coasters in Cedar Point for the majority of my life.
Well, it sounds like you picked a perfect profession for yourself.
I did not pick this profession. This profession picked me.
Even better.
Yeah.
Even better.
I can't even take credit for that. I was in Colorado doing what I did at the time and helping people out. And I got a call from a friend of mine and we got to chit-chatting, just someone that I talked to, not even on the regular, not a bestie, just had a conversation. And he mentioned that he might be selling a limo company. And I said, hey, I like to party and don't tell anybody else about it. And now here I am 2.5 years later and I own Limo Venture.
And so it says owner operator. And I just assume that means you drive as well.
I do it all. I don't know. Well, that's not true. I don't do the oil changes or anything. I know the people that do it all. But yeah, I know what is being done. But yes, it's very rewarding to think that so many years ago it was just me because my business partner was overseas still. So it was a girl and her vehicles. And now we have staff and amazing drivers and a phenomenal partner. And we're just doing the darn thing.
Right. So tell me about your vehicles. We mentioned on break, but tell everybody else.
I have 3. Yay. We have 2 amazing party buses. They fit between, 25 and 30 people respectively. That is body size dependent. Everyone's got beautiful individual bodies. We celebrate curves, but we want you to have fun, not feel like a pack of sardines. Yeah. And it's, we want to have fun, not deodorant checks. So we do have lights, lasers, customized music. We've got Bluetooth. Absolutely. If you've got a dancing pole in one and you rent the one that doesn't have it, pick a person, make them your dancing pole. There you go. Problem solved.
Right. And what are some of the people, why would somebody come hire you? I know limo is like, for me, I'm a mom. I think of prom, homecoming, but what are some of the other reasons that people are going to call Limo Venture?
Well, prom and homecoming, as I mentioned, we have the 2 party buses. We also have a fuchsia super stretch Hummer, bachelorette party, bachelor party, divorce party, celebrating finally being single again, a birthday party. I had a 80s themed in the fuchsia super stretch Hummer. I decorated myself. I decorated the Hummer. I showed up kind of looking like between a Cindy Madonna mix, a little, poofy skirt. Had such a good time with the kids. And then while they were waiting to get ice cream, I pulled out a boombox and we had a parking lot dance party. So, it's just little adventures like that. I mean, they're never going to forget that interaction.
Oh my God, I love you. This is so fun.
I like to have a good time. I mean, you can choose your own option in life. I don't want to go like that book, but you can choose your own option. And I like the fact that you can make it a party. Is it Taco Tuesday? Great. Grab 20 of your besties, get on the bus, have some tequila, tacos, and let's do the darn thing. You can bring whatever you want on the bus as long as it's not inappropriate.
Right.
And
so I was curious about that. So you can actually drink. I mean, there's no laws against drinking as long as it's in the back of the bus.
Yeah. Girl, you going all back of the bus. No, it is a mobile club. Absolutely. Okay. We want you to do what you do. It's sort of like Vegas, too. What happens on the bus stays on the bus unless you put it on your socials and then you just tag the crap out of us. Yeah, that's the way.
And so I know we did talk about the break about some of the ins and outs, but I want to hear like one of your funniest stories. Don't mean to put you on the spot, but I know you've got so many.
That's okay. I think my funniest story for me, honestly, is when I just purchased the business and I had to be in training. Like I needed no training on how to party. Let's just be very clear about that. Right? Okay, trust.
You needed training on how to drive the party, though.
Right. Well, not even that, but you see how things are going and operating the buttons. What you push, and everyone needs to know what buttons to push. So there were too many of us there, and I said to the charter, "Hey, I can leave or I can bartend for you." And they're like, "Well, why don't you go ahead and bartend for us?" And so then I saw like a full-on show, a production. And let me just say, 5 stars, good times. They had dancing and drinking. And then I even got tipped at the end. I'm like, I get paid for this?
Right.
So that was a fun time. And let me think. The craziest one that I can think of, I had a group of 21-year-olds. And they had my bus rented for her
boys
21st birthday. Mix, boys and girls. And mom. Mom was 70 years old. And I'm going to tell you what. The only person I had to chastised during the entire trip was mom. The 21-year-olds were fine, but mama was not acting right. She was dancing and gyrating in an area and manner that was inappropriate for my driver.
Mom, you're so embarrassing.
Yeah, that was interesting.
She had to be like 50 when she had.
All I know is that it was a darn good time. We only had to talk with her once. It was a slightly uncomfortable conversation, but it was a really funny to look back on story for sure.
I think it's awesome. And so how do people get in touch with you? I mean, like I said, you have your social media.
Oh, if you want to have fun, holla at your girl. 407-808-6265. Call or text. Normally call. We're having cell phone issues. Please text currently. All of the socials at Limo Venture. we can meet me on.
We're going to do that again.
Yeah.
I just was curious. So, like I said, if you've got it, tell people why they need to call you.
I like people to call me because everything is done digitally these days. I like to be able to actually have an interaction. It's building a relationship, even on the phone. Because thank you for calling Limo Venture. How do you want to proceed? No, hey, thanks for calling Limo Venture. This is Renee. How can I be in charge of your adventure? I'm hyped because I'm excited. They're going to party with me prospectively, and I'm getting them free into clubs, and I'm going to get them free.
So do you help them organize it?
I mean, I can. I have things already set up, established with different venues around town. If you're a venue around town and you would like to partner with me, there it is. I love to make parties happen.
And so what does a good partner look like for you?
It looks like somebody that has a club that wants even more clientele and to be talked about exclusively. Because currently I'm saying, hey, I can take you to these venues, get you in here. You're saving this much money for a party of 10 that's already taking care of some of your rental. It's building more value for them. And it's keeping more people off the streets that are drinking and driving. I mean, there's so many different things. Yes, you can party with your friends. Yes, you can bring your cocktails. Yes, you can have the time of your life. And you don't have to worry about any negative altercations with anyone in the official system.
How far in advance do people have to book you?
Yeah.
I mean, sooner is always better. You don't have to worry about someone taking your vehicle, time, or adventure spot. But, it just really depends because we are a new company. We have more availability than most, but it also has opened us up to, we have a really exciting adventure prospectively in October coming on the books, and we are able to go ahead and take care of that. So we have something very exciting, hopefully coming down the pike that we'll be able to talk with you about more as it builds. But October and November are going to be very exciting for Limo Venture.
And how far will you go out? Like, we drive over to the beach, like area-wise?
I am not kidding when I tell you I have been down to Miami a couple of times and been so far north, I have seen the Florida-Georgia line. So we service Florida.
Right.
We are a Florida service. We go to the beach. We sit in a parking lot and let you party in us for hours. We will take you back and forth. Whatever your adventure is, that's what we will do.
So
Ice,
no
water,
Vegas.
Sorry?
No Vegas.
I mean, you know what? No, but we are open-minded to certain things at the right time. Now is not the right time to do anything outside of Florida, but there's so much to explore in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's booming. Everything. Oviedo is huge. It was nothing when I moved back here. I mean, Winter Garden, Winter Park. There are so many different areas to explore that you don't want to be driving around to having a bar hop.
Well, back in the day, downtown was like the only place you could go really to kind of have a good time, but it's not like that anymore.
It is not, and that's what we want to really kind of capitalize on and look into because people have the opportunity to party at different places. And even when you live here, you get a couple of places that you'll go to maybe on the regular, but when it's offered to you the option to do something different, that can be really, really fun and enjoyable.
Yeah. No, you don't have to worry. She was just telling me how much.
Okay.
We have 4 minutes left, so we're good.
A comment from the audience? Yes. How may I help you?
Heather doesn't raise her hand. She jumps in.
So
She ain't shy.
depending on all that, how does the pricing structure go? Did you charge like by the mile?
That's
or?
what everyone asks. So what you're doing is you're renting a block of time. What you do is you call up and you'd say, hey, Renee, I want this adventure on this date from this time to this time. This is where you're picking me up. This is where you're taking me. Not a problem. I can make that happen. I mean, off the cuff, I would say it's about $200 an hour, and that includes everything.
Like gas, but if
Gas, tolls, taxes, gratuity, I mean, it's
That's not bad.
No, we're not trying to price gouge. We want to give people an amazing experience so that when you come back or you think party, you think Limo Venture.
Right.
I mean, if you have a good time, you're going to tell everybody about it.
I have a feeling everybody has a really good time. I bet your percentage on repeat customers is very high.
I'm very proud for a very small startup. I mean, this is a company that existed before, but it's not the same. When you change hands, things are different, and we have regulars.
Was the company
and it feels
here
great.
in town before?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does the price vary seasonally, like
that's a good
New
question.
Year's compared to?
No, that's the other thing. Like I said,
Wow.
we don't want to price gouge.
Yeah.
I mean, we can, but that's just not how we want to operate. We have a clean business. Give people I'm from a hospitality background. Give the people what they want. If you don't have the thing to give them what they want and you have the ingredients, make it and give them what they want.
No, I think
love it.
that's fantastic. So you said you had some stuff. New Year's, I'm assuming New Year's is like probably one of the biggest. What are some of the other biggest holidays that people need to get ready for?
The biggest holiday of them all, EDC. Everybody loves to rave
really?
in Orlando.
We're so old.
Where's my glow sticks?
Yep, and Halloween.
When is
Halloween is
that? So
huge.
when is
We have
EDC?
something
Just
coming up,
passed.
like I said, hopefully down the pike in October for Halloween. Christmas, I've had some my most tender was I had a give. Okay, that's not. I had a charity where we did something special and took a limited amount of time person on a special tour through the lights with the family, and that was very near and dear to my heart. I hope I said that
No,
appropriately.
you did. So you guys, we are kind of wrapping it up, and I wish we could talk with more. So what we're going to do right now is just real quick, go ahead and let everybody know how to get in touch with you, and then we'll go to you next. So go ahead.
Yes, so call or text 407-595-5448 or check us out on our website at taekwondoorlando.com.
And Renee?
I am Renee with Limo Venture. Call me at 407-808-6265. You can find me online at all the socials, Limo Venture, LIMOVENTURE. We've got a Fuchsia Super Stretch Hummer and 2 party buses.
All right.
No S.
You have
No
Melissa,
S in
can you grab,
Venture.
Melissa, can you grab a mic real quick?
Only S and parties.
All right, and then I'm Melissa Jacob. I own Striking Brand. I do photography and videography for businesses. You can find me Striking Brand all social media and www.strikingbrand.com.
Thank you. And Ms. M?
Emily Murphy, Go Get 'em Coach. You can find me at gogetemcoach.com.
Awesome. And I am Angela, and you can get all information on baadradio.com. You can also reach me at 321-303-6424. So you guys, this was a fantastic show. I hope everybody enjoyed it and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. See you next week. Bye.